Hey guys, what's up? This is Steve. I am here tonight to do something that's a little off the beaten path for me. I'm going to do a review of a service called RiderShare.com. RiderShare is a service much like Turo or Airbnb even, where you can take, if you're an owner, you can take your property and rent it out to someone else at a fair price. And if you're a consumer, you can rent that item and hopefully everybody makes out pretty well. Airbnb has been, of course, a very successful model. Turo is doing pretty well. RiderShare capitalizes on the motorcyclist who wants to get out and ride something different. Maybe they don't own their own bike, maybe they do. Maybe they're just interested in riding something else that's a little different, trying out a bike. But you can rent another bike for a reasonable price. The prices are set by the owners. I found out about this because, and I had a little bit of interest in it because I've got two bikes. I've got one that I like very, very much, and one's kind of a secondary thing. It's a little bit exotic. It's a little bit, you know, it's a bike people are interested in, and so I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot, see how it goes. And it was very, very good for a while. But here's the deal. On my last rental, the guy had an accident. Here's how it happened, apparently. He rented it and went out that evening, on a Friday evening, up into the mountains in the Shenandoah Mountains in Northern Virginia on Skyline Drive. It's fall, it was past dark, and guess what? A deer jumped out, hit him, knocked him down. Apparently it was enough to hurt him a little bit, but not very much. It definitely banged up my bike, bent the handlebars, bent some other things. Cosmetic damage to a degree, nothing terribly structural except for the handlebars. What a pain in the butt, okay? This is where this gets interesting though, where I think this review might be helpful. What I think the measure of RiderShare is all about is not so much the system of renting, it's not the system of lending. What really matters is what the experience is after an accident. The thing that sets RiderShare apart from some of the other services, which I'm not going to name, I think is it's the only one that does carry insurance. I heard a podcast on Adventure Rider Radio as an interview with the guy who started the company, and he spoke about the hardest thing about starting RiderShare was finding a company that would insure riders. Now that was the thing that made it possible to me. I thought, well, okay, I don't really like the idea of somebody else riding my bike. That's not really, you know, all that great. But if it's all insured and the system works, then, you know, I guess it could be worth it. My first few rentals, no problem. It's not like you're going to get rich off of this. You're not going to be able to get a bike and just have it rented all the time and make a lot of money off of it. People don't rent bikes very often. So with mine, I was lucky to have a rental or two a month, paid for the bike. A weekend rental with, you know, one a month will make the payment on the bike. Not bad. It's nice to have a free bike. But again, where it comes, you know, push comes to shove is how this experience is going to be going through the insurance and going through the insurance process after an accident. Now, the way this worked was that he brought the bike back, and we already had each other's information because of the way the whole system is set up. You know, that was pretty cool. Really great guy. We quickly kind of made a plan, and then I contacted. RiderShare has a $500 deductible, and you know, kind of being in a weird situation, he volunteered that he would just go ahead and give me the $500, and then maybe it wouldn't be necessary to file an insurance claim. I took his $500 and we exchanged that by Venmo, and then I was able to finally contact the service department for my bike shop today. I talked to them, and I talked through the information, and it quickly became evident that this was going to cost more than $500, and it was going to be necessary for me to file a claim. So at that point, I contacted RiderShare again, And I emailed them. I'd been already emailing back and forth. Very, very fast response, very good spirited kind of stuff. I really couldn't praise that more. Again, kind of not really sure how to navigate through this process. I finally said, hey, you know, I'm gonna have to file a claim, and we're gonna have to get this going. She initiated the claim by asking for my bike's registration. I sent that. I sent a picture of it. And then almost immediately, the guy who rented my bike texted me and said, hey man, I just got hit with a $500 deductible charge from RiderShare. Please send me my money back. And I was, of course, more than happy to do that. So I sent him his money back, and he acknowledged receipt. That was good. And now the next part comes in that I'm going to be contacted by an insurance adjuster who I think is going to come out to my place, look the bike over, come up with an estimate the way you would, you know, with a car accident or something like that, and then take it from there. That's really all I know at this point, so I'm going to just like sign off, and hopefully it's going to all work out next time. I'll see you in a little while. All right, it's Saturday. That's about a week after the accident took place. I got to say the communication between me and RiderShare has been fantastic. Couldn't be better. Almost instant responses to emails. Reassuring stuff, all that. The problem now is that we have gone, it's been handed off, the claim's been made, it's been handed off to the adjuster, and now I'm waiting for a call for the adjuster to come out, look at the bike, do the assessment, all that. That goes into another company's hands, and according to RiderShare, they're busy and they've got a lot of these things to deal with, so it's taking time. I just wanted to update you on how this process is going, because maybe you're going through it yourself. And today's Monday. It's been 2 weeks, been a little over 2 weeks since the accident. The latest update is that I did have a little bit of correspondence with the insurance company last week, late last week. I think it was on Tuesday. They said that they were going to get back to me by Thursday. They did not. So I'm still waiting. I sent a check-in email this morning, got no reply. So keeping you updated, here we go. Last time I hope that I will be doing this. Hey, you don't know this, but a lot of time has passed. It's now 4+ weeks since the accident, but I've got good news to report. Last week, late in the week, I did finally get got a message from my insurance agent, from the insurance assessor, who said that the problem was that they had reached out to a local company, a local shop, to try to figure out how much it was going to cost to get the bike fixed, to do the estimate. But they picked out a shop that really wasn't a very good one. It wasn't, their website really doesn't show that they even service the bike that I have. And I'm really not sure how they got that information. But I turned them on to the dealer of my preference, and they very quickly worked up the estimate, and then sent it to me and gave me instructions. So tomorrow I will take this bike to my local shop, which I like. It's a small shop. It's not a big dealer, but I've gotten good service there before, and I love supporting the small businesses. And we're going to get the thing fixed finally. I'll let you know how it all turns out, but this is starting to look like maybe the thing you really need to be careful about if you decide to use RiderShare. It's a great way to rent your bike out, make a little bit of money, even pay for your bike. But you know, when something goes wrong, you got to kind of weigh in the consequences and what might be taking place as a result. So off we go, and I am out of here. And I'm back, and guess what? I don't have good news. Seems that, well, let me just catch you up. The bike is at the shop. It has been dropped off, but now we're in the midst of back and forth with the insurance company, who gave me an estimate of about $750 worth of damage. The shop is saying it's about more like $2,500 worth of damage. That's half the price of the bike. So, you know, these are negotiations that have to happen between the shop, who wants to maximize their income, and the insurance company that doesn't want to pay you anything. But again, I say that this whole thing is really not about so much what the process is, but it's about the actual experience with RiderShare is. And I've kind of formulated my thoughts about it now, but I'm not going to tell you what they are until I get my bike back. And I'll let you know when that is, but for now, we'll see you later. Hey guys, I'm back. I wish I wasn't, but I'm still waiting. It's now at the repair shop, and I think it's been about 2 weeks that they've had it, and they're still not really communicating with the insurance company, and it's a massive headache. So still no bike. Yeah, talk to you later. Here it is with me again. Last installment this time. I'm going to cut this short because the drama continues, but I think I'm reaching a point where resolution is at least imminent. So here's the deal. I just figured it out. I looked at the calendar, and the bike was rented via ridershare.com on the end of September, about 8 weeks ago. And that's when the bike was dropped, and that's when I had problems. So basically, I have been without a bike for 8 weeks now, and I think it's going to be a little bit longer. The repairs are underway. This has been a headache. I'm not real sure who's to blame here. I know that the insurance settlement took a lot longer than expected, and it was not easy. It was rough. There was some things that were really mishandled in that. That's not RiderShare's fault. They are to the point where, you know, they've got to have an insurance provider. It's not going to be easy to cover the kind of business that they run. But nonetheless, as I pointed out at the beginning of this video, if you're going to do something like this, probably the best reason to go with RiderShare is the insurance. Now, if the insurance doesn't work well, you need to factor that in. So just to recap, I think that the beauty of RiderShare is that while I was doing that, I could rent it a weekend a month, and that paid for my bike. Not bad. I mean, you're not going to get rich off of it by any stretch, but it's not bad to belong to a service where you can, you know, really be inconvenienced very little, and it happens to just make all the payments for your bike magically. That's pretty cool. The whole thing breaks down, though, when you endure a hassle like this. Now, there's some things I could have done differently. I didn't have to go with a mechanic, a bike shop to do the repairs. If I was more handy and more willing, I could have just taken the insurance settlement money, bought the parts, and then done the work myself. That's one option, and some people will be happy to do that, especially if they've got a more generic bike that has parts that are more easy to come across. Given the options and wanting to kind of do the thing where I, you know, restored the bike to its original condition, I chose to go with a mechanic, a certified mechanic, to do it. That added time, that added hassle, and that added communication issues. So the system broke down on several different at several different points. Right now, my bike's in the hands of a mechanic, and I'm just waiting for stuff to happen. So bottom line, this is my summary. All right, RiderShare is great. Love it. Love the system. Love the platform. When it works, it's working great. It's a great opportunity if you want to have an extra bike. And you want to, you know, again, you're not going to get rich off of it, I don't think. But if you have a high demand bike and you are willing to live without it for a little while here and there, it's a great thing. You can get an extra bike and ride it and not have to pay anything for it. That's great. It breaks down when something bad happens, like a lot of things. So if you're thinking about doing RiderShare, I would just simply look into that, and I would simply take into account what the worst case scenario will be. Now, for me, the big question is, once I get my bike back, will I put it back on RiderShare and let people rent it? Gotta say, probably not. You know, it's just not worth it to me. It's not worth the headache and the heartache. So that's the bottom line. I hope you will, you know, take this all into account. I hope you have great experiences, and I hope you just, more than anything, keep on riding.